Markets are unpredictable, volatile, complex, but your trading journey doesn't have to be. Hola Prime TV is now live. Every trading day, join top coaches as they break down real-time setups, key levels, live trades across Forex, futures, and crypto. From Tokyo's early momentum to London's open surge to New York's high volatility action. We decode every move live. Get sharp analysis, clear strategies, and insights that actually make sense. And yeah, we don't just break down charts. We crack a few smiles too. Only on Hola Prime TV. This is more than content. This is infotainment and beyond.
Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Coach Paul, and this is Hola Prime Market News Update. U.S. equity futures markets continued their gains in today's trading session. The S&P 500 futures gained 0.16% on the day and are currently trading at 6712, apologies, which is about 46 points off of the all-time high. The Nasdaq posted a nice gain of about 0.34% on the day and is currently trading at 24,824, while the Dow Jones was relatively flat on the day and is currently trading at 46,585. On the global front, we have some economic news that was released out of Japan and South Korea. In Japan, we had Japanese industrial output month over month, which came in worse than expected at negative 1.2% versus the negative 0.9% forecast. Also, Japanese retail sales year over year data came in at negative 1.1%, worse than the expected positive 1.1%. That's a pretty large difference there. And for large scale retail sales, that came in at 3% year over year compared to the previous figure of 2%. As for South Korea, we had industrial output year over year. The industrial output year over year declined to 0.9% in August from the previous recording of 0.5%. The month over month figure came in at 2.4% in August versus 0.3% expected. Also, South Korea's service sector output fell to negative 0.7% from previous readings of positive 0.2%. As far as the futures, USD futures FX pairs, the US dollar showed a little bit of weakness today amongst the futures major currency pairs. Euro USD gained about 0.2% in today's session and is currently trading at 1.1783 as of this writing. And CAD USD also gained 0.2% and currently trades at 0.7212. GBP USD logged a gain of 0.22% on the day and is currently trading at 1.344, while the Swiss franc and New Zealand dollar were flat on the day after some attempted rallies. The New Zealand dollar closed just above 0.5792 and is currently sitting just below 0.58, while the Swiss franc is currently trading at 1.265 after reaching as high as 1.2689. The Japanese yen rallied today, gaining 0.6% in the trading session and is currently trading at 148.55 yen to the US dollar. As for cryptocurrencies, they were green across the board today, and Bitcoin is up 3.59%, currently trading at $114,300 as of this writing, while Ethereum is up 4.42% and is currently trading at $4,217. We also have Litecoin up 1.25%, trading at $106.81. XRP is up 1.95%, trading at $2.88, and Solana is up 3.24%. Trading at $213 flat. As for our commodities update, we have gold futures extending their gains largely today, adding 1.9% on the day after a few days of consolidation. Gold futures are trading at 3,863 as of this writing, just below the all-time high of 3,863.7 that was made in today's session. Silver futures were also very bullish on the day, gaining 1.58% and reaching $47.42 per troy ounce. Silver futures are currently trading just below $47 per troy ounce as of this writing. WTI crude oil futures fell sharply today with a 3.11% loss and are currently trading at $63.13 per barrel. Key support continues to sit at the $62 level, which we've seen over the past couple of months. And lastly, as far as key events are concerned, the economic data on the docket for tomorrow just has JOLTS job openings data, which will be released at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, without further ado, it is time for our Quiet Markets live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger. Let's get to the trading, folks. Tiger, what are you up to,
What's
my
going
friend?
on? Coach P, Paulie G, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I am doing quite all right. How about you, my friend? How you doing? How's your day?
Interesting day.
Yeah,
Oh,
really?
let me start on the outset by saying if you ever go to Walmart, don't ever get the Tapatio mac and cheese. Because I got that and ate some last night, and it had me just out of it, tore up. I don't know if it was food poisoning or what, but it has been a miserable 24 hours for me. Yeah, I was
Oh
hurting on
no.
Forex. So I finally got some goodies to take, some antacid tablets and things like that. But I'm just now starting to feel better. So I had to power through it.
Jeez,
Slept in a
that
little later
is
than normal.
rough.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough, but it looked really good. It's like the queso blanco, like when you go to a Mexican restaurant, you get
Yeah.
chips and queso. I mean, it just looked awesome. So I got it and I tried it, and yeah, it wasn't. It was kind of sweet, which kind of had me worried. Like maybe it was something that might be a little spoiled or something. I didn't think anything of it. I got through half of it. I couldn't even finish it, and it just didn't taste cheesy. It tasted like a sweet Alfredo sauce or something. So yeah, that told me something wasn't right about it. And
That
sure enough, a couple hours later, I was feeling it. So I'm just now coming out of that over the last hour
there
and a half.
there was definitely something wrong with that, my friend. That is no good. Oh man, that is a rough
Yeah,
go. I mean, there's no way you could have
yeah,
avoided that, really.
yeah. Well, even the packet itself, it was a clear packet. I couldn't tell if it was powder or if it was actual creamy. I couldn't figure it out. So I'm like, well, this is a little sketchy. I ate it, and yeah, like I said, I got halfway through it. I couldn't. And mac and cheese is my jam. Everybody knows that. That's my jam.
Yeah,
So for me to not finish a mac and cheese bowl, yeah, something's wrong. So I paid for it,
I'm
but
sorry, man. I'm
it
sorry
was
I'm
all
laughing.
good.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but the
No,
way
I'm
you're
like, funny.
describing this,
It is funny.
it just gets funnier, and only friends can laugh at friends though like that. So I
Of
mean,
course,
I'm only laughing, and like
I'll have everybody laugh
that's
at me. That's
just
fine.
oh, dude, that is just so unfortunate. But the more you describe,
Yeah.
oh, that's so bad. That's something, dude, honestly. And I think the reason it makes me laugh is because I would do the same exact thing as you, man. I
Yeah.
literally, if you hadn't told me to not get this now, I probably at some point in the future would have gotten it and something similar would have
Yeah.
happened to me most likely and I would have been destroyed. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You're looking out for me, actually.
Friends looking out for
So,
friends. Yeah. Well, they don't
yeah,
just
man.
have just your regular Kraft mac and cheese anymore. They got 30 different flavors of, well, Kraft has like 4 or 5 flavors, and there's so many new flavors out there. And I'm a connoisseur of mac and cheese, so I thought I'd try it. But anyway, lesson learned: stay away from the
Yeah.
tapatio.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
anyway,
Definitely. Definitely.
but
So, yeah,
as
how
far
was
as
but did you get to trade any of the Forex Fire session or were you just too, messed
no,
up to even
yeah,
try?
I still got it. Yeah, I got excuse me, I got into a couple pairs, but the markets were just funky today. And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with this government shutdown threat coming up potentially on Wednesday. And
Right.
so, yeah, I mean, zones weren't working well. Yeah, euro dollar. I was trying to get into a euro dollar short, and then I was trying to buy our favorite problem child asset, the WTI oil, because I was getting some bullish signals on it. And then, yeah, it just caved right through, like everything, which was odd because, with all the bombing that took place over the weekend, unfortunately, you would have thought that would have spiked. But no, came down to my demand and just chewed right through like a hot knife through butter. So I'm eyeballing a higher time frame zone further down to try to recoup that loss on WTI, just a small loss. I didn't put a whole lot of position on either one of those trades just because I knew that, yeah, you never know what to expect with these government shutdown threats. And so, and it looks like it could be like that for the foreseeable future. So, but yeah, just so everybody knows, President Trump did meet up with the Republicans and Democrats in Congress today. And yeah, a whole lot of nothing. Looks like they're miles apart from a deal. So I know Vice President Vance said that it looks like we're going towards a shutdown starting on Wednesday. So yeah, anytime that happens, it it kind of throws a wrench in things, including our data that we get on the economic calendars. I was reading an article earlier, and they talked about even like the non-farm payroll report coming out on Friday. It could be delayed. It could be incomplete. What else did I see on there? And I'm just looking at the calendar. The JOLTS job openings, we'll probably be fine with that one. But yeah, just even looking ahead to next week, if it spills into next week, yeah, things like unemployment claims, right? That could be affected. So yeah, it's never a fun time when these government shutdown threats happen. It seems to just throw everything for a loop. So it's just advisable to maybe, downsize your risk, keep those stops tight, and yeah, weather it until they shake hands after cussing and discussing, right? After they finally come to a deal on the spending and everything. But yeah, I mean, you'll have a lot of things from the IRS, potentially being shut down to the U.S. Postal Service is usually fine because they make their money off stamps, even though they constantly lose money year in, year out. But yeah, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, I was reading where it'll potentially be shut down. And yeah, there's like 2,000, what was the number? 2,550 personnel in there, I think it was. And if it shuts down, there'll be one person in there working. So you can imagine we'll be potentially getting delays on some of these economic reports that we like to watch for the U.S. dollar. So Yeah, it sounds gloomy. It
That's
sounds
interesting.
doomy. But we rebound every time, don't we?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is some noise. You know, a lot of it
Yeah,
feels like noise, generally speaking, when we look at these government shutdowns and whatnot. Um, but you know, it could have an effect. Like I think Tony was talking about it earlier. Like the last largest like government shutdown that occurred was like under the Obama administration, where it happened for like a few weeks or something like that. He was talking about, and
hmm yeah,
so if you had something like that occur where it was like multiple weeks on end, where you had a
yeah,
situation coming about, maybe that could really throw a big wrench into things. But aside
yeah.
from that, maybe not the worst. So
Not the worst. Yeah, I think the last one was during Trump 1.0 in 2019. I think it was, and it was it wasn't shut down long. I mean, the bark usually sounds worse than the bite itself. They usually somehow miraculously figured things out last minute. So, but yeah, you got Vice
right.
President Vance saying it looks like we're going towards a shutdown, but they've said that plenty of times in the past, and then somehow miraculously they pull a rabbit out of a hat. So who knows what will happen? But if they don't figure out anything literally in the next 24 hours, then 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday, they'll be
Mhm.
putting not open signs or closed signs on a lot of these government agencies. So, and who knows how long that lasts? But at the end of the day, you know, we just got to be careful and maybe look for a non-dollar denominated item to trade
Yeah,
or something, or just be
yeah,
careful on the position. So we'll get through it.
yeah. I think so.
Be resilient.
I think so. But I agree. That's a good idea. Maybe you trade like the non-US denominated. That's a good idea. Actually, that's a good relative like risk mitigation for the forex traders for sure. Maybe you stick to those AUD pairs you've been talking about,
Some cross pairs.
or
Yep.
like yeah, what have you? Maybe Euro
Yep.
JPY or something like that.
And what
But
always likes to thrive on chaos? Gold
the
and silver.
Swiss, damn
Yep.
it.
Yeah. Swiss too. Yeah. Yeah. Safe haven type asset. Gold, silver,
Yeah, but
Swiss francs, usually even
you're
dollars.
right.
See, that's the thing. There's a scenario to be given for why that would hurt the dollar. There's a scenario to be given why it would help the dollar. So it's just, you just never
Mhm.
know, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
trading's all about fear and greed. And in times like this, you just don't know
Mhm.
which one's going to win out. But yeah, there's always gold, there's
Mhm.
always silver, there's always some of these, more safe haven type assets. But yeah, I mean, that's been our favorite here on this stream lately. Gold, right?
Yeah. And speaking of that, I've made 3 trades now in gold while we've been talking, and or two
Nice.
trades, and they've both been break even actually. And I
Mhm.
just got into a long again. I'm risking very little. I'm literally trading 3 micros, and my stops are like usually like $2 per troy ounce large, and then as soon as we move into the money by like $2, I move to break even immediately. And obviously that hasn't been working out very well because I've had 2 break even trades. But the thing is if you do get in on the right side initially with enough of a stop loss to be able to put yourself in that position, I feel like when gold does run or make a quick run where it just literally doesn't even pull back at all, you can capture like $5 an ounce. So I'd rather take the risk off immediately, get in a bunch of times where I've got essentially zero risk,
Mhm.
since I've been getting into the trade within my favor, and then just move it to break even once it's up a bit and look for that immediate spike up another $3 or $4 an ounce. So same thing is happening
Like,
right now. I'm technically I am in the money. It's not very much at the moment. It's a few ticks, but it looks like we're trying to go up. I mean, we did just make all-time highs about 13 minutes ago, and
mhm.
we might retest those all-time highs in a second, but we also might just completely fail. So wouldn't be surprised either way. The volatility in gold has been wild, and we have a big offer sitting at 38.73 on the futures here, which is just above the all-time high that was set 13 minutes ago of 38.72.4. So if my stop can hold here and maybe we can jump up to get that liquidity, I will then immediately put my stop to break even. So it looks like we want to try. Looks like it wants to try, but again, like I said, I'm having relatively neutral expectations at this point because it's just been so whippy. But gold has been on a tear. Silver again. Silver kind of consolidated more so, but still was up like 1.5% or something like that. It's still ridiculous. Like silver's just going crazy, and gold is
all over the place.
Obviously, yeah. Awesome. We're sharing my screen now. I'm in this trade. It's really rounding upwards. Like buyers are relatively in control, so it has a pretty good chance at making this liquidity run to 38.73 here. Currently sitting at 38.71.5. So yeah, as soon as we get, if assuming we get to that liquidity, immediately moving my stop, immediately moving it up. Can we see it in like literally the next 30 seconds? Let's see it. Let's see it now. Come on. Come on, gold traders. Let's drive it up.
Yeah, Miranda, I see you in the chat there. Yeah, I mean, gold and silver usually thrive on chaos. That's just kind of the way it is. It's kind of an inverse relationship in a way with the US dollar. So, I mean, nothing's ever guaranteed, but if the dollar goes one way, just expect that gold and silver is probably going the opposite way, right? So a little bit of no man's land right there. We basically, as traders, we need information, and if we don't know what's going on with the government, it just kind of throws a wrench in certain things. So, as far as some of the longer term trades, right? I'm more of a higher time frame trader, so that's why I got knocked out of a couple positions today because I picked the wrong side. So. The government shutdown is its own data set, right? I mean, it's obviously, politics and all that, but, just like the NFP report will make markets volatile and crazy, and just like interest rate releases make it volatile and crazy. Government shutdown, just the same thing. It's a rumor at this point, but, it's looking like it's probably leading towards it. So we just need more information. Hey, are we actually shutting down, or are they actually going to strike a 11th hour deal, right? By tomorrow, we'll find out. But that's part of the fun about trading, right? Is figuring out all these puzzle pieces and putting it together. That's the challenge. It's a fun challenge. It can be an annoying challenge at times, but it's fun to do, right? And it prepares us for the next time we get a potential government shutdown. So,
all right. I added quickly to my position. And then as soon as we see, this is the problem, is like the whippiness is too much. So like I added to my position as soon as I saw that we took out a little bit of liquidity and it looked like we wanted to push up further to the next point of liquidity. And as soon as we took out the liquidity, it like sharply moved up a little bit. I set my stop to break even there. With the new position, we were able to stay in the position for maybe 5 seconds, and then immediately look at that. It just tanked down like $2 an ounce there. And I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I'm not trying to be a part of that. So I'm down like literally a cup of coffee right now, but that's okay. As long as I'm getting the opportunity for the quick liquidity sweep of a few dollars an ounce. I don't mind it, even if I miss out now. Like, even if it does, the opportunity comes about like literally right now and I miss it, that's okay. I'm just trying to play. I'm trying to be a part of as many opportunities as possible for the liquidity sweep, while my while like the risk to reward is relatively good and in my favor. Like now, this is difficult to get into this break at this point. Like it's kind of difficult because this just quick little ramp up that we had here is on super low liquidity all of a sudden instead of like this larger buying liquidity. So it's just got me super cautious, but man, this is a tough one.
Yep.
I think it might happen. You know what?
I mean, I
We'll
got
do it.
one alert. Yeah, I mean, I've got one alert on gold, a little bit deeper, about another
Let's get in.
$5 cheaper, but we'll see. I mean, there is a little bit of a zone there, a little bit of a demand. There's a lot of candles to the left, but with this thing going parabolic the way it is, it's, I've had a lot of zones get skipped over lately, meaning they just haven't come down deep enough to my zones. So, me personally, I've had to get a little more aggressive and go for some of the more higher on the curve type zones just to try to leg in. It's worked out a couple times with you and I on stream here of late. But yeah, it pulls me out of my comfort zone because you guys know that I like to wait for low on the curve type zones, right? The bigger discounts, but gold's just not offering that. It's just flying. So, just trying to step it up and catch some higher demand zones to try to jump into these things. So, yeah, about another $5 cheaper. If I can get a $5 cheaper discount, then I do have a demand zone waiting. But we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if gold literally came down, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw my stop get blown out here, and then we tried to get back down into the mid 60s range. To be quite honest, this looks like it could be a failed attempt at a liquidity grab at that 38.73 area. Yeah, that was just genuinely, it felt like a failed attempt. I mean, there was some decent liquidity on the buy or on the bid there at 38.70, and then we're coming right back up. That's crazy. That's hilarious that I got stopped right at the tick, and then we bounce up there. Dang, man, that's unfortunate.
Well, good
Talk
times.
about active, though. This is so active right now. It is at least something
we
to
got
spectate.
A lot of volume for sure.
Yeah,
a lot of pretty good volume.
Definitely.
Which is why I feel like which is why I feel like my demand zone on XAU USD, it's 38.30, but it probably won't even get down there.
Right.
Probably won't. Let's see here. I was looking a little deeper into the news earlier. See what else we had. Government shutdown. Let's take a look here. Dig into this article again. Very large differences, says Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer. We have very large differences. Vice President Vance, I think we're headed to a shutdown. Republican Senate leader John Thune added, this is purely and simply hostage taking. They got to get colorful with their words, right? Such a stalemate could produce unpredictable economic impacts, some of which could be felt quickly and others that could grow with each passing day. Some effects are already in evidence in currency markets. Yeah. No duh. I definitely saw that. But much of the market focus now is on the government's economic data, which will cease being published and gathered if a stoppage goes forward. Let's see here. Slowing labor market, persistent inflation. It is important to understand the U.S. economy is already on a knife's edge. The labor market has softened and inflation has risen. Coming from Washington Center for Equitable Growth, it looks like. And adding a government shutdown to the mix certainly won't help. Now, another thing they're looking to try to do is potentially cut some more jobs using this, I guess, as a test. But yeah, country, let's see here. So other potential effects mean potentially shutting down, obviously, the TSA, the Transportation Security Administration. If you need to call the IRS for tax-related questions, there's probably not going to be anybody answering. So call the IRS by tomorrow if you guys need anything with the IRS. Yeah, and then, of course, the Bureau of Labor Statistics ceasing operations during the stoppage as well. Workforce of 2,055 going down to just one employee. I don't think one employee is going to be able to put together all of our reports. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I don't think that's happening either. Just on a wild, on a wild opinion there, I don't think that's happening either. Well, I did get a couple bucks an ounce on this trade, but then we just decided to
Nice.
blast through everything, which looked like it was not going to like genuinely at 38.74. We were looking at the volume
Wow.
just went away. Like the buying volume just disappeared completely. And then as soon as so if I just use my little circle thing here, so we got to literally where this yellow circle is, and volume looked like horrendous. It looked like we were just gonna shove right back down. And as soon as that happened, an aggressive seller came in with 23 contracts, and then immediately just got hit like a ton of bricks, and a bunch of people lifted offers, and we just drove up another $2.50 an ounce there. That was completely unexpected, to be quite honest, on my part. I didn't read that right, but still took away $50. Got rid of 50 of the $70 in the red that I was at that moment. But
Hey, that sounds
gold
like a
is
big way.
failing
That sounds about
to
like the
disappoint.
equivalence of bowling at 250 right now. Getting $50, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it. It's fine. I'll take only $20 of loss at the moment with having gotten to participate as much as I have in gold here. But man, look at this. This is just, and the worst part is the upside target. I really don't have much of an upside target. It's because it's all-time highs. We're getting to new territory, and I don't have much to go off, honestly. So aside from areas that any like larger liquidity blocks that exist upwards that I can see on depth of market. I mean, so aside from that, I got no targets really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's where some people like to pull out a pitchfork and see what potential overhead resistance points there could be in the future. But yeah, it's just all unknown with gold being this high, all-time highs.
Yeah,
Making all-time highs every time we switch from you talking to me talking.
literally.
Pretty much. Pretty
So
much.
true.
So,
So
yeah,
true.
that lays into that poll question quite well. Gold at 3,863. Is it a breakout or a fade? Right? Well, breakout, fade,
Well,
chop, or depends on the US dollar. That's your options.
I said
That is
breakout earlier when I voted in the poll myself. So I
yeah,
was technically right there at the since we did technically break out. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah, and just because gold is overbought, keep in mind it can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, right? So definitely be
Exactly.
careful. Do not try to sell this market. Don't do it unless you're taking profits, right? If you're already in a trade, you've been in the trade for a while. Hey, definitely wouldn't be the worst idea to start taking some profits, but it could go higher. It could go. I mean, you got Goldman Sachs, I think it was, calling for 4,000. Well, shoot, we're already knocking on the doorstep. So who knows
Yep.
who knows how far. And this government shutdown threat just definitely potentially aids to that. So hell, we may by we may beat a 4,000 by the end of the week. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But
Yeah,
this
exactly. Who knows? Who freaking
this
knows?
chart of gold is littered. It's a graveyard of people trying to call the top. So just keep that in mind for everybody.
Yeah.
As good as things look for gold, just always be careful. It could roll over, but a lot of people have blown their accounts trying to call this top of late. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter that the RSI is showing overbought, right? that just
Yep.
means it's the popular kid in town and people are packing in. So,
Yeah. And to be fair, like gold, like I don't think from it, like I think it's hard at this moment. Like we do, like we have, you and I know we have looked at like RSI from like a weekly and monthly perspective to like
yeah,
larger points, like other points in history when we've seen economic events unfold. Just for a comparison, like for a comparison's sake, we did that. And, relatively speaking, yeah, sure. RSI is pretty high. If I was to look on my, charts here on my other software, I'm just going to pull it up real quick. I'm going to pull up the weekly, and I'm going to go as far back as I can. Technically, RSI is at 77.45, which is relatively, we are relatively overbought. But the thing is there are so many times in history with gold where we've been at this RSI level, like on the weekly, and there might be a small pullback that occurs just to then break that high or whatever that area is where we were showing as overbought. So it's kind of like when you look at like NVIDIA, for example, when NVIDIA was just breaking all-time highs every week, every day for literally like a year straight or whatever. So you know how many times RSI was showing overbought? It's like one of these things where we do, like, you and I, we are, we look at it as a there's a little bit of understanding of what that can mean, but then we look at other things to say, hey, I'm not going to step in front of a freight train either. Like there's some use to it, but at the same time, it's like, be wary that we're in an overbought market, but at the same time, the economics and just the geopolitical situations and whatnot do scream like people want to be in a safer asset, such as gold, and people fly to gold for safety. So it makes sense for it to be where it is at the moment, like for the overboughtness to be a thing. So yeah, I'm definitely not stepping in front of this freight train anytime soon. That's for sure. If ever.
Ain't gonna end well. And just remember, cash is a position too, right? If you stand in cash, that's a trading decision. You don't have to jump into the market necessarily, right? You really don't.
Yep.
No trade is a conscious trade, is a conscious decision. So, if you're not feeling it, if you're not 100% certain on something, just let this time pass. This too shall pass, Paul. This too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Yeah.
And I am looking at micro Bitcoin. It feels like an hour ago I looked at Bitcoin and it was at 109.5 and we're at 115.440. It just literally Sunday night, or like technically Sunday night, we gapped open on the futures at 111.215. This is such a good example, Tiger, of what we were talking about the other day with gaps. This is such a good or we were talking about that, right? About gapping and like overnight positions and whatnot. We were talking about that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that gap down.
So such a good example here. If you were short Bitcoin going into Friday afternoon and you held over the weekend, and then you open up Sunday night and immediately you open up about $1,600 in like $1,600 in Bitcoin above where the close was. So your position just immediately is down whatever the equivalent dollar amount is for that many ticks. For people in bigger position sizes, that stings, because they could have had, they could have had a stop, they could have been short, let's say, in somewhere in the big, this big, like, down candle here. Let's say they're short at 111,000 flat, and they were in the money, $2,000 almost, or $1,500 as of that close. And then immediately you are at the best break even if you had to stop at 110, even if you had to stop at 110 or 110.5, doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter. You get stopped out at a 111, 150. Sorry, come again, play again. And you maybe get out break even at best, but likely not if you are in at 111. So always a risk.
Yeah, that's a good visual.
Overnight session.
That is a perfect visual for everybody right there on Paul's chart. That's
Yep.
that's what has, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. That's what scared me out of holding positions over the weekend. I used to always do it, but with the way the geopolitics are and these wars, and now we got government shutdowns and this and that, it's a beast right now to try to chance holding an asset open over the weekend, like I did all the time, like I used to always do, at the
Yep.
threat of right there, what's on his chart, right? Gapping up $1,600. A $500 stop, $1,000 stop didn't even keep those traders safe. If let's say they got into the consolidation level down there, even at the bottom, right?
Yep.
They're SOL. So
Exactly.
it can be a cutthroat world, but one of the easiest ways to avoid it. Things like that, just close everything out Friday when you're done. And and if you like the trade that much, turn around and get back into it after the market opens the next day. But you wouldn't have wanted to get into that if you're short, for sure.
Exactly. And imagine like you got in like late Friday at like 4 p.m. or 4 p.m. East or 2 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Eastern. You get in, you survive that like spike up to 111, and then it's going in your favor. You're in the money, like let's say $750, and you put your stop right above that wick high, just to be stopped out right above that, like even worse because of that gap open. So,
and the banks and institutions, Paul, they probably did that on purpose too, right? They deliberately wanted to open price above that little wick, knowing there's stop losses up there, but no, they're going to gap it just a little bit beyond it, right? It's a cutthroat world.
Mm-hmm.
Cutthroat world.
Definitely is. The futures markets do not care about you. They just all they care about is money flowing one way and money flowing another, and there being somebody in a clearing corporation in between that can handle the clearing process. That is all that it is. It's just money flowing from one person to another, and that's all that matters. Futures markets don't care about our feelings. That is for sure.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Trading is nothing more than taking money from one account to the other. That's it. It's just a transaction, just a systematic transaction. So the best in the world, the best of the best, figure out ways to do it. And that's one example right there.
Yep. Yep.
And we do have a higher high on Bitcoin. Let's see here. Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of the higher time frame. Yeah, let me look at this. Yeah, I mean, I'm still holding off for 100,000 personally, as far as my favorite look. I got a daily demand, I got a 4-hour demand inside, and the distal line of that demand zone all the way down to 98,000. So I feel like, with a stop loss, maybe 1,000 lower than that. I mean, that's at least a $3,000 buffer from the 100,000 mark. If and when we would return down to that point, because a lot of people are going to be getting it at 100,000. The banks are going to be wanting to sweep liquidity after getting a little bit of a bounce. So I don't know. Do you think 3,000 might be a good buffer on a buy from that area? Because the zone is, both zones are right. The $100,000 mark is right in the middle of both of those zones. So
yeah. For Bitcoin, well, this is the thing. The levels are a little bit different on the futures. But,
I'm sorry. I'm talking BTC USD, obviously.
Yeah. So on the futures, if I was to look at the daily, I did have some levels here so the 102 to 104 area was the first level of, we need to hold that in order to go higher. And we, generally speaking, that was assuming that we were, this is the funny part. This first purple rectangle here was saying, hey, we settled down at like 109,900 or so on Friday. And if we broke through 108, essentially, we were looking for more consolidate, or for the next like area of possible support to be around 103 or so. And if we for some reason broke through that, then it is tough to say. I mean, anywhere between 98 and 100 as like a small area of support, maybe psychological. But then I was looking at like more so like 84 to 88,000 as like this area here that we found some relative comfort in prior. But obviously we didn't even come close to that happening at this point. People bought the dip at 109.5 and, rallied this pretty significantly here. So if I was somebody who wanted to get long Bitcoin and felt like I missed the boat, the next area I'd want to get long is if we broke above. So here, if I put my little circle here, if we broke above where this little yellow circle is now at about 118 or 119, and we closed above that on a strong candle, I'd maybe look to be getting long for a retest of the all-time high. Honestly, I think that's probably the only way I would be getting long here. But aside from that, like you said, maybe there could be more consolidation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That is a good play.
That's a W pattern. That's a kind of like a W pattern of sorts, like we've talked about before. And if you close above that area, maybe we continue towards all-time highs, honestly. And the crypto market is kind of wishy-washy to me at the moment. You're seeing days where just everything's painted super red, and then days where we're painted somewhat green, and it's just getting a mixed bag of emotions from the crypto world. So I'm more cautious than anything on things like Bitcoin here.
Yeah, and also Bitcoin. I mean, as far as my top setups, it's only showing a -1, so it's as neutral gets. I'm getting 1 point for sentiment score. I'm getting -4 for technical, so that's not good at all. And then getting a +2 for the eco score, so the fundamental reports. So too mixed of a bag fundamentally, too mixed of a bag technically. It's just just need some more information. Like Paul said, the higher high, higher low concept on that daily chart would definitely help. And then look for a potential retracement. But yeah, even at that, if we keep a neutral score, it's just a little tougher on Bitcoin. So I'm right there with you. I'm not interested at all in Bitcoin right now, unless it would be like a quick 5 or 15-minute zone scalp or something. But definitely not interested in any type of shorter term swing trades or even mid-term, long-term, doesn't matter.
Right.
Let's see here. Right there with you.
And I did forget to mention everybody in the chat here. Say hi to everybody. Eric rakes it in the lake. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Made me buy it. It's in the chat. Miranda, we answered Miranda's question earlier, and we talked about that. But hi, Miranda. I didn't get to say hi, so hi there. And good to see everybody. We still got a good hour and 15 minutes on the quiet market session, so hopefully we'll be able to make a little bit more trades here. I mean, unfortunately, the equities markets are flat as can be. The gold is really the only thing to trade at the moment, but we are just flying. We are the volatility again, super crazy. We're whipsawing like crazy, but in an upwards motion. So you need to have wide stops, and that's just how it goes. But we are making all-time high. We just technically ticked 38.80. So 38.80 is the all-time high at the moment in the overnight session here. And will we probably break it? Seems likely. We are
as soon as I start talking, we will. See, look, with each new successive high, that's where we switch talking.
Yep.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I could, if you like, I can kind of do a quick overview of the COT and some of its top setups. Yeah, back in. Let's take a quick peek. As always, everybody in the chat, I go over this on the Sunday's 4:45 p.m. Central Standard Time show. It's just a quick hour. I run through this on Forex Fire Monday morning, and I like to run through it real quick on quiet markets as well. But This is our COT report. So this is what the big banks and institutions did the previous week. Now, it's always accurate as of the previous Tuesday. So always keep that in mind. It's automatically a few days old when we get it at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Friday. But the big thing with this week, now again, the government shutdown is going to throw a wrench in all this, but I'm still going to at least take a look at the hard data for everybody because it's important. It's important to know where it's at. So the main thing that sticks out right away is when it comes to all 4 U.S. indices, the banks increased their longs. Okay, there's the Russell at 2% right here, the NASDAQ at 2%, the S&P at 3%, and look at the Dow, 19.75%. That's increase of their long contracts. So see, they increased their long contracts by 6,000, and they decreased their short contracts, meaning they bought to cover 3,300. So quite a big swing. They are now net long by the slimmest of margins. This is in the futures market, okay? Keep that in mind, everybody. So, but it's a really good gauge. So, yeah, 50.04% long. And then obviously the last report, they were only 30% long since we increased by 19%. So, quite the swing in the Dow Jones. So, yeah, I mean, you would think that this week would be all about buying the indices, right? And then, of course, gold, they were 1% sold. But again, the government shutdown's throwing a wrench in all this stuff. So we don't know what we don't know just yet.
Really quick,
and then after,
Tiger.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you saw this, but in regards to what you're just talking about with the indices, did you see what the market on close in the futures trading session was today? And the market on close is, I believe, I'm sure you know, but it's just like the out of whack pairing that needs to occur between institutions and whether that's a net long or a net short. Essentially, did you see that number by chance? What it was today at like 3:50 p.m. Eastern? I'm sure you were. It was 4. So yeah, exactly. That's what I figured. So it was 4.5 billion to the upside. And by the way, 4.5 billion net long to the upside in the futures, like on the S&P 500. Is insanity. I mean, that's essentially 4.5 billion orders, just like lot, or 4.5 billion lots, like not like that haven't been paired, or sorry, not lots, but 4.5 billion in position that has that to the long side that is not being paired off by sellers at that time of release. So,
oh wow.
Like the imbalance to be that large is very interesting. It didn't make the market move at all, which is wild because normally when you have a big imbalance come into the market at that time, it usually creates some sort of shock wave one way or the other. But it was super chill and nonchalant.
Wow.
But it kind of goes to what you were saying about like, just generally the indices, like maybe people are accumulating right now for it to keep going up, and like we were talking about earlier, the market can stay more unreasonable for longer than you can stay solvent if you're trying to short the top in these. But yeah, interesting tidbit crazy, there. The 4.5 billion to the long side. Yeah,
that sounds scary to me.
Yeah,
to be that long, but like you said, the market's going nowhere. That's freaking weird.
Yeah. Usually like a larger market on close would be like 1.5 billion. We've seen 2 billion. A crazier number would be like 3 billion. But seeing 4.5 billion was genuinely, I don't remember the last time I saw that large of a market on close number before. So it is crazy. Yeah. One to asterisk for today. That's an asterisk kind of mark on today to look back on, to see what happens going forward after such a day like that. Anyway.
No, you gave me something to do after stream on DeepSeek. We go do some study on that market on close imbalances. That's crazy. That
Yeah.
just sounds weird. Balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, after all the CO. Oh, and speaking of the currency side of things over here on the COT, so yeah, you had the dollar had a 3.5% increase. Swiss franc actually led the way at 4.65%. So as far as the biggest losers, I guess would be the Canada dollar minus 2.1%. So not really too substantial on the sell end, but clearly on the buy end, we had a lot of currencies and things rocking and rolling. The yen, the dollar, the Swissy, and then S&P at 3. Platinum. Anybody that's a platinum trader, the banks scooped up platinum contracts. But yeah, it was all about the Dow. But all 4 currencies were bought. I'm sorry, all 4 U.S. indices were bought, including the Nikkei as well, 2% there. So, but yeah, not a whole lot on Bitcoin. We were just talking about Bitcoin. I mean, plus 0.06%. So negligible, just like the neutral fundamental reading, just like the diddle in the middle action we're getting on the technicals. Bitcoin just doesn't look attractive at all to me. And banks are perfectly right down the middle on the long percentage versus short percentage. So that's as vanilla as it gets right now with Bitcoin. Just need more information, whether it's bullish or bearish. I mean, preferably bullish, but we'll see how that goes. So, okay. So yeah, that was COT report. And then how everything shakes out. Top setups, strongest rating still goes to the dollar, Canada dollar. I think this was the same score as Friday, plus 14. So that's as strong as it gets. I mean, yeah, there's not a single red box in this currency. I mean, everything's either highly favored to the U.S. dollar over the Canada dollar. Otherwise, there's like 5 neutral readings on here. So yeah, you add all those boxes up for all the sentiment analysis, technical analysis, economic analysis, or fundamental analysis. Yeah, you got a plus 14. So that's one of the stronger scores I've seen in a while. I think gold was at 17 there for a few days about a month ago, 15, 16, 17. But yeah, as far as currencies go, I think that's the strongest currency pair I've seen in a while. So it's all about dollar, Canada dollar, and pound New Zealand for me. Those are the 2 most bearish readings. I do like dollar yen as well. It actually has a really good trend going on. So definitely going to be interested in trying to find a position within that as well. And then on the bearish side, looks like CAD Swiss is leading the way at a -7 for potential short sale. So, but yeah, again, I got into a euro dollar short this morning. It hit my supply zone and started the drop, but eventually got flung back up towards the upper end of that same supply on a higher time frame. And now it's, of course, doing its thing, kind of coming down and going sideways. But yeah, and then U.S. oil, that's where I tried to buy in. But again, this uncertainty just has it taken, which I still find surprising. Again, you would have thought that the what was it, 600 drone strikes or something like that over the weekend, Russia and Kiev. So it's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's
sorry, I was going to say that just goes to show you with the crude situation how it seems like, generally speaking, crude is like it's just been bearish over the last, ever since the Iran situation that we had a couple months I don't even know how long ago that was, 2.5 months ago or something. Just generally speaking, regarding the supply that exists right now, how bearish people are. Like, there was a little bit of a jump from that news, I felt like it, but it was immediately met with just selling pressure because there's this range that this like channel we've been trading in, and it feels like that support at the $61 to $62 per barrel level on the futures is just like traders want to eventually break it. They just don't know when. And because we're coming right back down. That exhaust move occurred above 66.5 or whatever, or up to 66.5 per barrel. And then we immediately just retraced harshly because I think they're just respecting the general downslope channel trend. It's like it feels like very technical in a way. And people just aren't buying it. People aren't buying that there is a bullish case to be made for crude, I think. my overall opinion is that eventually, just like Coach James thinks, that we're gonna go lower. We eventually will break the $62 per barrel level and eventually go lower into the mid 50s. But as far as the when, it's just who knows.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
There was the candle there, I believe. Sounds about right. June 23rd, I think. But
Yeah.
so yeah, going into this morning, I mean, yeah, I had all, price. Let's see here. Let's see here. What did I do? Yeah. So we had. So I felt pretty good. In fact, if I saw this same price action, I would still do the same thing I did. I mean, the momentum that it created off this demand zone was 3 hours. It was 3 hours. That same range took about 7 hours on the way down, so it slowed down. But it was probably still pretty hot and heavy, right? I felt good about it because it came down a little slower than the initial move up. So it was more so a look at momentum and the fact that we've had a bunch of higher highs and higher lows since the 22nd. So, yeah, I just kind of got in here and got tapped out just below the zone, and it's just kept on going. So the next stop for me, and I've got an alert set on it on my other platform, is going to be down here just to see what we can get. I'm going to treat this like a verification. I'm going to make sure that I get, because I've already been burned once. I want my money back, oil. So I want to see price come in, come up, break a structure right here, and then come down. See if we can find a smaller time frame demand for a buy to the long side. That's basically what I'm going to be looking for if it comes back. That's what I prefer to see. Want to see a break of structure. Of course, my break of structure would come right here. And then if I can get a smaller time frame demand zone, I would love to see that. Let's see here. Somewhere in this area here like that. That's in a perfect world. That's what I would want to see, rather than just a simple order. I mean, I will say it would be at its ultimate cheapness, relative to this recent price action. So, I mean, a limit order wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but still, I'm just, because it's already burnt me once.
Mm-hmm.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So this time, I'm going to trust but verify. But again, It was a small amount. I didn't want to risk a lot because it was high on the curve, like I said. But this would be low on the curve, so I'd feel a little more comfortable with. So, and then euro dollar, that was the other tiny loss I had. So I was looking at this 4 hour. I believe it was a 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour supply. My magnet clearly didn't work, so I'm gonna delete you now. But I hit this 4 hour supply here. Same thing, really strong momentum push down, slower move up, which I liked because I didn't want to jump in front of a speeding train there, and then just went down to the smaller time frame. I missed the initial move because this would have been right about the time I was taking my little nap, right between Sunday night and Monday morning show. So the initial move I missed. So in the result of it though was pull back, break a structure, and then I found a 5 minute supply. So I ended up getting in here. So that was more of a second chance attempt. Well, yeah, price started going in my favor, and then all of a sudden it slammed up through. So this is why I say, I mean, strong bearish asset right now. So it just decided to have I mean, obviously weaker dollar was kind of the theme there for a while early this morning because of the new threats and the new news articles that were coming in on the government shutdown. So it just threw everything for a tizzy. I was talking to another person on email earlier about euro dollar, and he said he got torched. I said, I took a small, but it's all because, it should be a good trade to the downside, but with the geopolitics screwing things around right now, the government shutdown, Right here it looked weak for the dollar, and now the dollar looks like it's trying to get strong again. So such are the joys of life in trading. You can have a good plan. Sometimes the market has other ideas, so it's all good.
Exactly.
All good.
That is simply how it works.
Yeah,
That's all there is to it. As scary as this sounds, I was looking at an NKD long here for a second, and then had to bring myself back to reality to say, maybe we shouldn't be risking $25 per tick on the challenge account here in super low liquid, illiquid or super low liquid environments as the NKD genuinely is. I mean, the spread alone would have me deal with slippage of about $75 on average. I would have to have a pretty wide stop loss, but I must say, on an intraday perspective, on NKD right now, I would be long. I would be long if I had a larger risk appetite here, but looks like we formed some sort of like micro head and shoulders of sorts. A lot of sellers came in to push the market down in NKD, and then we sharply rose back up, and it looks like we're consolidating for a move upwards. But anyway, quick little tidbit on that as just a little addition there, something I just quickly saw and decided to look at.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind, everybody, we do have Australia's cash rate statement coming out here in another couple hours, 2.5 hours, looks like. So, they're projected to keep rates the same, 3.6%, with their lip flapping session soon to follow. Paul mentioned the JOLTS job opening tomorrow on Tuesday. Well, today, Tuesday, for you guys and gals in Asia. So good morning to you over there. But we are, of course, over here in the States, so it's still Monday evening, our time. But JOLTS job openings, non-farm employment change on Wednesday. That's the ADP version, by the way. And then obviously the manufacturing sector for the Purchasing Managers Index on Wednesday. Thursday are normal unemployment claims. Swiss's CPI is coming out early in the morning our time. Governor Ueda of Japan will have his little lip flapping session in the evening on Thursday, and then again followed by Friday's big event, non-farm employment change, along with the unemployment claims. And then the dollar also has a little bit later in the morning report for the PMI data and Governor Bailey's lip flapping session. So again, that shutdown could potentially affect the non-farm employment change release, right? It could either be released late or incomplete. So hopefully we'll get some more information on Wednesday, though, with all that, because since that is the deadline. But just looking at gold real quick, and then we can flip back on over to you. I was kind of looking. I was looking down here initially, but like I said, like you said, like you've been saying this whole time, it's just flying upwards. So just not catching a break, just not catching a retracement at the moment. I mean, I don't know, maybe this spot right here. Got a nice momentum push the upside here.
Better be quick.
Yeah, I know. You got resistance back here becoming a little bit of support. Who knows? We'll see what that does. That might be my next spot, so I'm going to move my stop loss up. Yeah, you're right. Got to be quick. We got to catch a move somehow.
Like that commercial with the guy holding. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta
be quicker than that.
You gotta be quicker than that. Here's silver. Oh gosh, first thing I thought of. Hurway twins.
Did we? No, it's the stepbrothers.
Did we just become best friends? That was what I said to this person I met at a spot here a couple of weekends ago. Because I found out he's a Forex trader. We started talking charts.
That's awesome.
Different oscillators and things, and that's exactly what I said. Did we just become best friends? And he did it perfectly, just like he did on the movie. Yep.
Always love that. Always love that. That's
Yeah.
great. Uh, so good.
Yep. Yeah. I'll just throw this out through the English. Yeah, I'll throw this out. How long do I plan on staying up tonight? I'll throw it out till 11 o'clock my time. See what happens. I mean, we're getting a couple pretty decent swings in silver, a couple decent momentum pushes up. So it'd be nice to get a little bit of a pullback and just try to see if we can't leg into one of these suckers.
Yeah.
That's gold and silver. Ugh.
Did get.
I never looked at oil on a 1 minute chart. It looks funky, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of gross, honestly. I don't like that.
Yeah. I
don't like that.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I mean, I kind of like this area down here. This is a daily also. It's okay. I just now noticed it's actually tapped into the daily demand, but I'm more interested in the deeper retracement to the 4 hour. 4 hour. So the bottom rectangle is a 4 hour, and then this one up here is a 1 hour demand. So it needs some manipulation, though. It's coming in too hot and heavy. It needs to start doing something like this for me to have any interest at all in jumping into a trade.
Yeah.
It's coming in too hot and heavy. Too hot.
Yeah.
Speed limit, 45, meaning 45-degree angle into my demand, right? This guy's driving, what is that? I don't know my angles, 90 degrees? No, 90 would be sideways, wouldn't it? 0 degrees?
90,
no, 180, is that right?
That would be this. That would be lateral. That would be a lateral 90. Line. 90 would be like a right angle, right?
Okay.
Like
so straight down would be, well, it would technically be 0, right?
That would be 0, right? Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm just pretending the compass is upside down, so that's 180. So he's 2 times over the speed limit. Oh wait, more than 2.5 times. Y'all remember, I don't math. I do geometry, which is bad because I'm still screwing up the geometry formula. 180 miles an hour. He needs to come in at 45. Yeah, whatever. Back in, delete the last 1 minute.
No.
That's fun.
It's late, man.
Right.
Our brains are doing the best we can to survive and trade these markets, let alone having to try and do some calculations on some angles and stuff. We don't need to be doing all that.
I blame it on the stomach bug. And I've only been up 3 hours. Yeah, keep that in mind.
Oh yeah.
But,
true.
So today, well, I was hurting so bad this morning after Forex fire. Actually, it was shortly after noon before I could finally go to sleep. So yeah, then I slept for 6 hours until 6 and got up, felt better, a little better.
That's good.
A lot better. Yeah. So, but anyway, oil, it's just coming in too hot and heavy. So I do need it to start slowing down. Otherwise, I'm just going to ixnay that idea right there. I don't want to get in the middle of a freight train. NASI and Dow, they're on my watch list as a +5. So on these, just looking. Silver. That might be too hot and heavy as well, huh? Silver. Zag nuts. Remember, I call it zag nut.
Zag nuts, yep. It's so funny because I feel like very few people have had the pleasure of the zag nut candy bar, but I mean, I've learned about it through you. So
yeah,
you're slowly introducing the zag nut to the world. I think. I feel like they're regionally only available in like a 30-mile radius of where you are.
Well, the funny thing is, the only place in Kansas City I've been able to find them are we have a Bass Pro Shop over by the Kansas Speedway where they do all the NASCAR racing. We have a Bass Pro Shop over there, and that's also where our soccer team's at, Sporting Kansas City. They're right next to each other. But yeah, they got a Bass Pro Shop over there, and just at random, it's in the candy aisle on the way through the checkout. Like, why are these not anywhere else? So if I want a Zagnut bar, I got to drive 10 minutes up the road to the stadiums, to the Bass Pro Shop.
Great.
It's a really nice area. It's West Kansas City, Kansas, and that whole area is blowing up. We got a gigantic shopping mall, a whole lot of really nice restaurants, the Speedway, minor league baseball team, the Kansas City T-Bones. I can't remember which team they are a minor league affiliation of, but yeah, the Rockies maybe. I can't remember. One of the teams. But and then a Great Wolf Lodge with a big water park inside. There's all kinds of stuff up there. And then the Bass Pro Shop with my Zagnut bars right there on screen.
The Bass Pro Shop's looking at like, what is driving revenue of this shop? Well, there's this one guy that comes in and buys like 500 Zagnuts, and those candy bars are like 300% profit for us. So he's really keeping this place afloat.
Yeah. That's it. All right. So that demand wasn't good. So we're going to take a look at the next one. Just keep going down the list. We've already cut through this area. Yeah, it's literally the best. I mean, I always thought Butterfinger was my favorite candy bar until I had a Zagnut. Yeah,
that old Butterfinger, man.
Yeah, it just doesn't get any better. But especially when they're fresh. If they're like stale, they're still good, but it's not as good. But just imagine Butterfinger with instead of the chocolate, it's just like a toasted coconut shell. That's a Zagnut.
Right.
It's got the peanut butter flakes inside. Oh gosh, that's my favorite. If anybody wants to get me a Christmas gift, just find me a container of Zagnut bars and a package of socks. I'll be set. I'll be happy. That is totally it. Socks are the best gift ever, Paul. It's the best gift I ever got.
I mean, that's what it like when my parents talk about like, hey, what do you want for Christmas or whatever? I'm like, honestly, just those things. Like, yeah, just give me some socks, man. Give me a few just blank shirts, honestly. I don't even just give me some clothes. And as a kid, you don't want any of that, but now as an adult, you're like, yes, I don't have to do this shopping.
You don't think about it. Yeah. You don't think about it until somebody gets it for you. Like that's what my sister got me. Like, oh, this is great. I can throw away all my ones where my toes are poking out.
Exactly. And we're not going to do it for ourselves. So, it's always the best way. Of course not.
We're men. We don't do silly stuff like that. We don't think about it.
We don't take care of ourselves. Goodness.
So the euro dollar. So I was looking at the pound dollar at the same time, but the pound dollar this morning was giving me a -4. So just a little bit on the neutral side. I think euro dollar was a -6. So that's ultimately why I settled with the euro dollar. But looks like pound dollar is trying to actually abide by its supply zone, as you can tell there. I pretty much put in a second chance trade attempt here. So I've got this zone that formed, break a structure. So I'm still keeping an eye on this area. As a potential second chance. Let me pull that out a little further out. So we'll see. I don't know. It's kind of acting a little lazy, so that kind of is a little bit of a turnoff. But we do have a demand zone down here, which could be a potential spot to cover a short sell. If we were to take the initial higher time frame zones, but then the second chance zone. So we'll see. I like manipulation like this. I just wished it were a little further. Well, no, I guess that's okay. Now that I think about it, break a structure is a break a structure. So, right. And then we had good volume as well on that 15-minute zone. So I like that, and I like that RSI formed on the other side of the 50-yard line. Okay, it formed up here, so 50-yard line. Look at me with NFL. Percent line is what I meant to say.
Yeah. Those Tennessee Titans, my goodness, man. Sheesh, do they look terrible? I mean,
So I didn't even watch
I thought the Jags
the
were
game.
bad.
I didn't watch the game, and I usually watch the highlights. Like you can go onto YouTube and just type in whatever Titans Houston highlights, and it'll show like a 10, 12-minute video of it, all the highlights. I didn't even watch that. Didn't watch it.
Yeah, you don't need to.
No.
There are no highlights. No. There are none.
Cam Ward had 107 passing yards. I saw the box score, and that was all I needed to see. Cam Ward, though, he was honest at the press conference. I read an article. He said, "We ass." That's all he said.
Yeah. I loved seeing. To me, I saw that and I'm like, that is their QB of the future.
I like the honesty. Yeah. No, I'm set on him. We just got to build a team around him.
Accountability, massive accountability, and it is just really nice to see. I find that if I was a Tennessee Titans fan, I'd be super refreshed hearing that.
Oh, I was refreshed to hear
actually
that.
Optimistic. Yeah, I'd be very optimistic for the future. Somehow, who would think that you could be optimistic after such a terrible game? But
if you look at all superstar quarterbacks, their first season is usually terrible. That's just the way it is. So to me, it's nothing. Like, it's going to suck this year, but every other Pro Bowl quarterback or, Hall of Fame quarterback, they typically had a really bad first season. Hey, for anybody not named Patrick Mahomes, of course, right? But
right.
Mr. 5,000 passing yards, 50 touchdowns in his first year. His first full season, I should say. But, it is what it is. Every fan base is impatient, and Tennessee is no difference. I'm on their Facebook pages, a couple Tennessee Titans Facebook pages. Everybody's calling for the coach's job, calling for this person's job, that person's job. Like, it's just like trading. You're going to have a bunch of bumps and bruises early on, and hopefully the ownership can, give them the allotted time they need to actually make it work. So hopefully they don't start firing people left and right. I like the coach. I just feel like he's got to get on it a little bit. But anyway, that was refreshing to see.
Yeah.
We ass. From Cam.
Oh man, too good. Too good.
Pound dollar. Let's see here. Dollar yen. Yeah, this is one I'm keeping a little bit more of an eye on because I like that we've got some higher highs, higher lows. Man, to be honest, I was kind of interested in this overall area right here, but it's kind of the same picture. Like a little high on the curve. Do I want to jump in? Of course, it's already technically kind of come through the distal line of the demand zone. Well, actually, I guess the distal would be here. So I may just end up skipping this, especially with the market or the domestic politics situation we got going on right now. And I may just wait for this little zone down here. 15-minute demand inside of a daily. So that might be the next stepping stone. But, if I had to chastise this zone at all, we got a lot of choppy action to the left of it. So could potentially be getting chopped up, diddling in the middle if we see the red zone there. But of late, had that nice push up, 3 candles of basing action on a daily before moving to the upside and making some higher highs here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this area as a potential. Like I said, I think that was a 15-minute demand. I go all the way down here. I know I had a gap in it. Yeah, there we go. So we got a 15-minute demand with a nice fair value gap above it showing strength. Pretty good volume where that zone was formed. So I've got an alert set at the 50% line of the daily demand just to give me time to watch and see how price interacts. So that's going to be one of my setups there, potential setups. Potential.
Yep.
Potential. But yeah, I'm at this point going to ignore this and just wait for this. Get a little daily demand manipulation, come a little deeper and see what we can find on the upside. May not happen this week, or the government shutdown may just blow it all the way through to the next demand zone, which isn't one that I'm too excited about. I believe that was just Jerome Powell flapping his lips and caused all those ugly wicks back on the 17th. I think that was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did he talk? Was it a Wednesday he talked, or was it a Friday?
No, Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
Okay, so that was that wick. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of ugly wicks in the Forex pairs on that day, so it just kind of threw everything for a loop.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's yen, dollar yen. Let's see, pound yen, Dow 30. Let's see here. Yeah, looks like that demand ended up working out from Thursday. I was keeping an eye on this demand here, but it was a lot smaller of a time frame. I think I had this thing way down on a 5-minute. I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't in love with it. And I think I was trading something else that day, so I ended up skipping the Dow. And as you can see, that was the one that was working out. So on to the next one. Nazi, got a demand down here. I'm looking at Aussie dollar. We looked at this morning. Got a 4-hour demand, 4-hour supply with a 1-hour supply confluence, and then there's a few other boxes, and then that's one's a 15-minute and one's a 5-minute. So got a lot of different time frame traders watching this market. That's why I wrote up all the boxes, because it's nice. Obviously 4-hour supply and demand zones are my favorite, but anytime I get the confluence of the 1-hour traders trading it, the 15-minute traders trading it, the 5-minute traders trading it, that just helps with odds enhancers. Never a guarantee, but just more odds enhancers I like to look at. So,
right.
Presently, I'm just basically looking to get some manipulation, get some get a break in the action, get some expansion leg. Looks like gold's come down. What we got on gold? Okay, so there's that 1-minute time frame with this form of resistance. What do you think? Should we take a little stab at this?
I'll tell you what, I got into a short on gold here and making back some money that I lost here. So,
Nice.
This is looking great. I've got my stop at 300. I have a $300 gain at the moment. I've got my stop placed there, but gee, yeah, because I took a few trades while you were talking and kind of got myself in the red a little bit, got myself chopped up a slight bit, but was able to, that was a nice one there. So I was able to get 300 back there. It was pretty sweet. Switch back to my other account. So now I'm only down about $100 on the night. So went from being down about 350 to being down, or 450 to be down only 100 there. So that was a sweet short that I caught on
Nice.
gold. But yeah.
Well, I just figured I played devil's advocate. We're gonna go for a short long on it. One of us will be right.
Okay. Well, I'm out now. I'm out now, so you can be right all you want. So I'm. I hope you're right. Actually, I hope I got out and you got in, and now
I
you
bought
make
your
money.
inventory.
I hope. Exactly.
I mean, I'm on XAU, but I took Paul's inventory to try to take it the other way. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. A little bit of a form of resistance over here. A lot of resistance there for a while until it shot through, and then came through, and the resistance turned into support, pushed price back up. So just got to see if we can't squeeze out a few pips out of this. I mean, pretty nice move up. This is all small time frame stuff. As always, I've been missing a lot of demand zones because they haven't been coming down to price. So I'm just trying to latch on at some point and go for just a tiny win, nothing too crazy. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Because gold and silver definitely should be thriving because of this chaos in the dollar right now, or chaos in the geopolitics, I should say, domestic and geopolitics. Should say. Oil, ores, all that. I hope they get that crap settled soon. nice if they did.
Right.
For humanity's sake. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, so 6. So yeah, the only dollar pair that's not in my list is pound dollar, but it's a -4, so it's right there as far as being close to a short. But the other $6 pairs are looking for dollar buys. Dollar CAD 14, dollar Swiss, and dollar Japanese yen are 7s. And then on the short side, Euro dollar, New Zealand dollar, and Aussie dollar are all -6s. So that is, in fact, I want to take a look. Okay, so we already looked at, let's see, dollar yen we looked at, Aussie dollar. Yeah, we looked at that because I got some zones up here. Dollar CAD, which is number 1. So this is my number 1 setup right now since it's the highest score and it's getting close to a demand here. Pretty strong move up. Coming in lazy, which I like. So I don't feel like that's a speeding locomotive train trying to blow me out. So just give me a simple retracement down to this confluence I got. And I will be interested. Yeah. I think that's a 15-minute demand. Yeah, 15-minute demand inside of a 1-hour demand. Me gusta. I mean, you could even say 4-hour demand. You look at that candle there. Yeah. That's probably going to be my favorite setup at the moment. Kind of getting a little bit of some manipulation like I like to see. Okay. Might be a little narrow of a range. So what I may end up doing is maybe incorporating, let's see here, because that's only, okay, so that's about a 10 pip range. Dollar CAD, how many pips does it move a day? So dollar CAD only moves about 52 pips a day. So that's, okay, so that makes the 10 pip range a little more tolerable, but as far as a stop loss goes, really got a couple options on this. I could be ultra tight and leave it here. I could be a little more conservative and put it under here, which is probably what I'll do. Just keep it under this little swing low here. I know it's a little further away from the zone, but 20 pips is a lot more stomachable than 10 pips as far as the stop loss goes. So that's looking like probably what I'll go with. But the best part of all is we got a +14 score.
Yeah, that's hard to beat. Hard to beat that.
Yeah, that is a good score. I like it. I like it. That's a strong score. Strong score. All right, come on, give me an engulfing candle there, Mr. Gold. There you go.
Very nice.
Flip on over. Flip on over. Yeah, I'll be honest, the 1 minute zones are something that's a little bit newer for me because I mean, used to the 5 minute was the lowest I would ever go, but kind of playing around with these 1 minutes. So I'm learning this just as much as anybody else. So it's going to be kind of fun to go through this process, see if I can turn into an official scalp trader, just like Coach Paul and everybody else to a point, right? I know you probably don't
features,
scalping. Or do you guys?
No, we do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
No, we do. Yeah. We're technically scalpers. Like we're intraday traders, so I mean we're technically our scalpers, I guess. Some of us are more hyper scalpers than others. There's like Sam is like a hyper scalper. Like he's yeah, exactly. He's scalping in like seconds, whereas me and like Tony and Daryl will hold for a little bit longer. Daryl will hold the longest, but me and Tony will hold longer than Sam would. So it's like Sam, me and Tony, Daryl. in terms of level of scalping. So
well, I just laugh because Sam will start to say, okay, I'm in a trade. And then he'll say like 1 or 2 sentences of what he was looking at. And then he didn't even finish it. He says, I'm out.
Yep. Exactly. Every time.
Uh,
Oops. Here we go.
yeah, it's just funny.
Uh,
Funny that
yeah,
he
it
can't even
is
finish. Uh,
the truth,
Funny
man.
stuff.
Absolute truth.
Yeah, good
I,
stuff. I feel like $1,000,000 now. A million, bajillion, fulfillion, $1,000,000,000,000.
all right.
New
Here we
Zealand
go.
was second strongest pair. So I got a zone down here. And I got a better spot down here, lower on the curve, full position. Definitely would be warranted down here. Now, I put this all down here when price was still up in this area. So I don't know. I don't want it to get too awful far away before I'd have to reconsider a full position down here. But I like zone. Obviously, I got my 4 hour, smaller time frame. This one up here is definitely a little bit higher, but this will be one where in fact, I want to color that light green just so I know to be careful because it is high on the curve. Same with this one here. Anytime I color something light green or light red, it just tells me to be cautious with it for something. Usually it's because maybe I'm not getting the gaps I like to see on the smaller time frames, or again, too high on the curve. But oftentimes if I get a strong enough engulfing candle with volume that's 3x, 4x higher than the previous candles, it can still turn around and be a good trade. But I just basically trust but verify. Let's trust but verify. Oh, wait, I didn't do that right. Trust but verify.
I hate that I'm feeling more bearish right now than bullish on gold. I feel like
Yeah.
there's room to the upside, but at the same, like, because like now, especially with just the last like 10 minutes of price action, it feels like there could be some upside, but it's very difficult to read. I mean, I'm seeing some
Yeah.
decent buyers coming in, but like I just did a little small scalp short there for like $60 or whatever before, I
Yeah.
got stopped out for like $60 gain or whatever. And then but that's after trying to short and losing a little bit. So like, and then we pop right back up here. So like, I feel like we're going to, it feels like a long now, but generally speaking, I'm getting this icky, weird feeling that there's like a short opportunity incoming and that we could
Yeah.
see a little bit more downside, but it's just too hard to discern at the moment. It's best for me to probably try and stay out of here, but knowing me, I'll probably give it a stab at some point.
Yeah, we did close over that downward trend line, so that's a good thing.
That is good.
For 1 minute, anyway.
Right. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good.
Now let's just stay above that one and we'll be all right. Stay above it, we'll be all right. Make me a few more dollars so I can go get some more Pepto-Bismol in case I need it.
Right. All right. Come on.
I'll avoid the McDonald's tonight. I don't need to be doing that. I don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Do you like the Tapatio Doritos? Have you ever had the Tapatio Doritos before?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah.
I do love those.
They're delicious.
Really good.
They are delicious.
I like Tapatio hot sauce. They just
Me
struck
too.
out when it came to the Tapatio mac and cheese. And it wasn't even that spicy.
Yep.
I mean, it wasn't spicy at all, to be honest. It was too sweet. Again, that's what freaked me out when I started eating. I'm like, uh-oh. Because just a month and a half ago, we went to a restaurant and got some mac and cheese, and it was a rather pricey restaurant. And the mac and cheese had the same. It was exactly the same. So it tasted like a sweet Alfredo sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and it gave my my girlfriend at the time, it gave her a stomach ache. So this is now the second time I've tasted what tasted like sweet Alfredo sauce, and then it tears somebody up. So I just so happen to be this time.
The recipient this time. Right.
Yeah. The proud recipient of a bellyache.
Now you can just get Tapatio Doritos to make it a little bit better. Maybe the next little trip out, you'll get Tapatio Doritos for yourself and call it equal or just handshake. Give a little handshake to Tapatio and said, "You got me on the mac and cheese. I'll just stick with the Doritos from now on." Fair play.
Yeah, what was I thinking? Trying to two-time you Tapatio chips? Sorry, I'll never mess around on you again. Yep. What have I got on New Zealand dollar? Got a 4-hour zone up here. Got a daily zone up here. There's a 4-hour inside of it as well. Guess I didn't notice that the first time I wrote this up. There we go. I like that. I still want to see what happens in this zone because you see all those white lines. That's all the different time zones. That's all the proximal lines of all the other time zones inside. So definitely liking that area there. Yeah. Quite a few different time frame supplies in there. Yeah, anytime I can get multiple time frame traders looking at the same area, it definitely makes me feel a lot better about a zone. So let's see here. Looks like we did get a little bit of a bounce off of the supply here. Not too interested in it, though, because I want this one. It's got more confluence up here. This just being a 15-minute zone after we've already jumped into a 4-hour demand. Yeah, not too interested in taking that demand. I think that was a 4-hour. Maybe it was a 1-hour. But anyway, higher time frame. So that's why I ultimately avoided this 15-minute supply here. Higher time frame zones are typically going to be stronger than a smaller time frame zone. But as you can see, still got a little bit of bounce downward for about 2 to 1 so far. Let's just say we put our stop loss up here. Be about, let's call it 10 pips. So it's already come down 16.9. So 1.5 to 1 already. Feller could have gotten that trade and brought it to break even for a cup of coffee at this point. But I'm more interested in these upper zones here. I need a little bit more of a premium on this one. This currency. Okay.
Gold's looking all right now. It's looking all right.
Yeah.
Looks like there was a nice candle right there. There was a struggle, a super, just a big struggle there at 80 or 38.70 half to 38.74 in the futures before there was an indecision candle that basically formed, and then buyers immediately swept everything up. So a good sign for the gold.
Yeah, let's just get another higher high right there. Yeah, I guess it's maybe another little resistance over here. We'll find out. Yeah, now the funny thing is gold is actually not even on my list. It's actually a neutral setup, but I don't care. This thing's a runaway freight train right now. So it's technically just a neutral score of a 2 right now. And then silver's a 1. But everybody can see the way that trend looks. We were talking about turning into a gold trader rather than Forex. Look at all these arrows.
Literally.
Since I got this account in July, there's been a constant stream. Look kind of funny on a daily time frame.
That is so funny.
Yeah. What does that look like on a weekly? Monthly.
Oh, man. I'm joining along with you here on Micro Gold. See if we can.
You see some buyers step in?
After that candle closing like really bullishly, and then on some decent volume here, wouldn't be surprised at this just being a small little pullback, and then the volume that's on the offer at 38.76 for the futures. Wouldn't be surprised to see that get swept through, and then 38 all the way up to 38.82. There's some decent volume, so kind of funny. I think we could see a pretty bullish run here. Could run pretty quickly for us. So,
well, I like hearing that when Paul says that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, gold, do it for us. Do it.
So if you're getting all what you just explained for a bullish reasoning in the gold futures, because I'm still figuring out futures, do you believe that translates into XAU as well, or not?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I would think so. I think if you're watching the futures order flow, the CFD version or Forex version would just be a derivative of it, essentially trading in lockstep for the most part. So, yeah, I mean, I believe so.
What the heck could I do with actual real volume, Paul?
A lot, I think, man. A lot.
Like, look at what I'm doing just off of some zones.
I know, man. I know.
Throw the real volume in there. I don't know what I'd be able to do with myself.
I think that once you get, because I don't think it's a matter of if, but I think it's more so like a matter of when. When you do get that volume, and let's say you open up like a futures account with Hola Prime and whatnot, or if you just go get third party software for the futures volume, I think there's just going to be an element of your trading that is going to be opened up where there might be more filtering that occurs for those setups that you talk about. Like let's say you'd have 10 setups that you think are viable, and then I think that might narrow it down to like 8 or something, or it might just narrow one down to 9, and it might help like just become even more picky with your setups. And it might filter out some bad ones. It could filter out some good ones too, of course it could, but I think you would err on the side of filtering out maybe one of the bad ones.
Net positive though, net benefit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I love using volume spread analysis, but I got to be candid. I mean, it's not the best. It's not near as good as what you guys have in your volume. And obviously it's just looking at just a couple. I think the volume spread analysis I read in the description, I believe it goes off the 10 brokers, and then they kind of use it they kind of filter it from those 10 brokers and average it in or something like that. So it's pretty accurate, but it's not 100% accurate, right? So, but that's just the volume for the bar itself. But yeah, you're looking at it horizontally as well, and that's something that's the piece that I'm sitting there thinking, my God, if we had that in Forex, it'd be so freaking awesome,
right?
But that's all right. So I guess that means maybe I'm better than I think if I'm doing this with just and VS.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I mean, hey, I think what you've done, like I think you've taken what you're doing to a high level, and it's definitely that it doesn't. I don't think you need like the order flow that we're talking about necessarily. I think it would just make your life easier. That's all. I don't think you even need it. I just think it's more so like you've built a system that works for you, generally speaking. It's just it would make things a little bit easier in terms of an analysis, probably. Like I said, in the long run, you'd probably save yourself more than you would hurt yourself in terms of setups that you would go through with and execute on. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
No matter what, you're a good trader, man. If not, you're a great trader. So I don't think you need some dang order flow, but I'm not going to discourage you from it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, look, I love studying and reading up on new everything in trading. So I'm 100% open to it. Yeah. No, I
yeah.
love it. Even if it's something that I probably know I probably won't use, like I still like to at least be aware of it. Like all the oscillators and the indicators. I mean, I'm definitely by no means a chartered market technician, but I've definitely went through my share of indicators and oscillators and used them all, and just to see which ones I like, which ones I dislike. And the funny thing is, the the one that I like out of all of it that I use all the time is RSI. And it's just the
Hmm.
simple. It's one of the basic ones. It's one of the simple ones. Just looking for that volume, those volume turns. So, and then VWAP. I love VWAP as well. If I ever need to filter something out, I like to pull it out now and then. Um, yeah, just give me the
Right.
old fashioned RSI. That's about all I want. About all I need.
Hmm.
And they're all there because a lot of them do the same thing, like the commodity channel index and the MACD and all that. Like it, I used to use them. I used to use them all, but then I started
Hmm.
realizing after a while, well, they're all telling me the same thing. Of course, the candles themselves tell you the same thing, but it's just takes time to figure out how to read it through the candles. But yeah, I finally got to the point to where I'm like, okay, well, I kind of already see this coming, so I'll just stick to the candles and an RSI and a volume spread analysis. That's it. Dumb it
Right.
down. I think every trader goes through that cycle when they start. Like they see all these pretty lines and colors and they just want to throw everything up there, to look the part. And then after a while you start to
Yeah.
realize they're all telling you the same thing, and you simplify life as it goes by, as it goes on. So um, yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff.
I agree.
Good stuff.
I agree, man. Yeah. Don't need it all a lot of the times. Sometimes it's just the simplest setups and the simplest of indicators or what have you can profit you or give you the best profits. So there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times where I get in on something purely based off of one level from my market profile, a simple level, and then how order flow responds to that level. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, just chef's kiss. And that's
Chef's
all just
kiss.
reading current auction uh, personality combined with previous auctions important levels. So
Yeah.
that's like the foundation of my trading essentially.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. I like it. Good
All right,
stuff.
Gold, let's go. Let's make our runs here. Let's make our run.
Yeah,
Run it
let's
up.
get our run. Get our run and see if we can't break a high up here. Where did I put my stop loss? Oh, just a little higher. I'm going to get close to here and then move to cup of coffee territory. Whenever we get up here, might even trail it a little more. Oh, we're at
Yeah.
38.50 most, so yeah, probably bring my stop loss to 38.49. If we can break through 38.50 a little bit, close on the other side of 38.50.
I did
There
already
we go.
move mine to break even, but I really would like to see this run here. The volume is not so great now, but that's proven me wrong plenty of times in gold where we've just shot up even with very little volume. So, got to take that with a
Yeah.
grain of salt. Some decent aggressive sellers coming in here, but can't trust it. I'm just gonna keep it at break even, let it go, see if we can't run up to 38.82 on the futures. I'm going to assume that would be somewhere around 38 25 20 38.60. I'm just going to say roughly. I would think so. Where do you mean 38.52 is the high? Okay, so that I would be looking at 38.53 ish, 38.53 or 38.54. That's kind of where my profit target is at the moment.
Another little gap here. Got another little demand that formed, but little just as a buffer, just in case it wanted to trail down. That would be the new lowest inefficiency within this little tiny up leg with a gap.
Mm-hmm.
But just stay on the north side of the white line. That's all I care about right now. All right. What do we got tomorrow again? Let's see here. Oh, yeah.
Don't give up on me now, gold. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can touch the white line just as long as you promise to keep going up. I don't mind it. No toca. Did I get that accurate? Oh, I did, yeah. No toca. Wonder what Australia is going to do here in a bit. 3.6. They have a 29% surprise score on their economic performance as far as reports exceeding expectations. Australia, let's see here. Pretty ugly overall. They've had 2 bullish reports come out in the last few months. July 30th, retail sales was bullish. September 2nd, GDP report was bullish. But other than that, everything else has been bearish. Manufacturing and services PMI, the CPI, the PPI, the employment change number. So yeah, their currency, most of the currencies, they're all in shambles right now. I know we kind of talked earlier about the dollar, but if I go back to the surprise meter, look how ugly this is, Paul. I don't know if I showed this last week or not, but dollar's leading the way at a measly 44%. All the other currencies are, they're all looking yuck. This is the lowest I've seen the average of the 8 since I've been using this software.
Oh yeah, I do remember you showing this. Yeah, Gotcha. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
And that's why we're playing in gold and silver, ladies and gents. Even though I'm getting a bullish dollar Canada dollar, the dollar still isn't that strong. It just so happens to be stronger than the other currencies. Not to mention the government shutdown and nonsense. So I don't know. I mean, trading anything is hard, but I feel like right now trading gold is the less of the hard.
Yeah. I think for a right reason, honestly. It's got a relatively clear trend. Aside from the volatility, as long as you can manage the volatility with with the correct position size, you can really do some damage in gold. You can really add some bucks to the P&L. You just got to be very calculated, very patient, and manage the risk appropriately. It is more difficult it's more difficult done than said, I will say. Yeah. It is a tough one to trade gold, especially in this kind of environment. Things are moving like the snap of a finger at all times. So I did move my stop up a little bit. So I'd be taking out for like a $70 profit right now, essentially. Currently in the money, like $117, but I really want to see us break through this current little top that we're making here. If we can't, I'm getting a little worried for the longs. Let's do it. Come on. Why not? Just do it. There's a good amount of liquidity up at 38.80 for you. And then 38.82 is where you really would want to go, I think. I would say so myself.
Go.
Come on. Let's get it done before the end of this session in 5 minutes. Let's do it. Why not? Right, Gold?
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and move to break even. Actually, I'll put it under this little spot here for now. So now I've only risked $4.80. Not a big deal.
I despise that we made that move up there, broke out of the little kind of 5-minute range that we had, and then immediately closed down back into the range. I hate when it does that.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's a bad sign necessarily. It's just like annoying because it feels like it's toying with you. It feels like the buyers and sellers are toying with each other, and it's very aggravating. But come on, buyers. Let's keep it going. Everybody wants gold bullion right now, so why show any different here? Yeah, here we go. There you go.
Yeah, doing it just short of 38.52. Come on, quit looking at that 38.50 psych level. Just buy. You don't need to pay attention to 38.50.
Exactly.
Who cares?
That
All you need to do
nobody cares.
is look at a daily chart. Okay, just look at that chart. Okay, look at that. I'm telling people to do the thing that we teach people not to do, which is buy at the upper end.
Hey, momentum trading is a whole different beast. Momentum and trend trading is a different type of beast to slay. So right now my stop is at 87 bucks. Yeah, not the greatest. Come on, why did we just reject like that so ridiculously here? Come on, like that other candle was, that 1 minute candle just a minute ago was pretty nice. Okay, here we go. It's okay. You could wick back down and then, yeah, exactly. Just a wick. That's fine. Nope, just kidding. Slammed back down and got me out. So made $100 on that. But let's see if we can't rally back up here for Tiger. Come on.
Bigger candle on the less volume. I like that. On that down candle. Just barely. Was less volume for such a big candle. Let's see here.
Funny enough, this is where there's a difference. Like on my other software, I saw more volume on that down candle than I saw on the up candle previously.
Oh, really? Yeah.
In the futures. Yeah, at least in the futures market, there was more volume on that down candle.
Huh.
So that's maybe where you could see some differences too. Like there might be pivotal points on a trend line or whatever where something sways you a little bit more. But we could also just see a doji candle right here, a form where a bunch of sellers get trapped and then we continue to the upside here. So that could also happen.
Just trap volume. Trap that volume. Shoot, we're down to a minute and a half.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Jeez. My goodness.
That was quick.
I'm feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, you ready for bed?
A little tired. Yeah, exactly. I am. Long day.
That's true. That is true. I'll be ready for bed myself. Take a little quick hour and a half nap, or 2 hour nap. Get up, do it all over again. Forex fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. 1 minute. 1 minute remaining.
Let's see here. Do I want to trust that 1 minute zone? I don't think I do. I don't know if I like it. I'm going to put it up for, I'm going to get rid of the rest of the risk. I don't know that I want to trust this little zone here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't blame you.
So free trade, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But that's where we'll leave it.
Yeah.
That's where we'll.
All right. All right, folks. Well,
Awesome.
we appreciate you tuning in and watching and giving us a listen here. We traded a bunch of gold. I
Absolutely.
made a bunch of gold trades. Tiger got into a gold trade. Good, really good gold trade actually here. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Just come and check out Tiger in the Forex Fire session early tomorrow morning. That would be
5 hours.
fantastic. Sure, he would love to see you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And,
We'll talk more
and
more
I'll
markets.
yeah, definitely. And I'll be
Government
back
shutdown.
for the futures takeoff. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, we'll see. So
well,
everybody have a
all right.
good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right. See you, Coach Tiger.
Appreciate it. All righty, buddy.
Later.
See you soon.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.